All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford fight as we get a prediction for the fight from Errol Spence Jr. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Man, is Errol Spence Jr. tripping? Is Errol Spence Jr. hating on Terence Crawford? I'll let you draw your own conclusions as we finally get to hear Errol Spence's prediction for the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thank you guys so much. Thank you big time to my guy, Big Homie, in the super thanks. I see you all the time, brother. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody else who supports the channel that way. It's a great way to support content creators. But let's get into this because Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence Jr. badly about 2 years ago. And Errol Spence Jr. has not been back in the ring since. Terence Crawford fought Ismail Madmarov and then at 154, and now he's going up 2 weight classes to chase Canelo Alvarez. So it is of interest to me and many other people. What does Errol think about this? What is his prediction for the fight? So he finally gives it, and it is the following. He said that Terence Crawford's power is real, and he's felt his power. His power is real, but those body shots from Canelo Alvarez are different. And he said he expects Terence Crawford to get knocked out somewhere around the 10th or the 11th round. Doesn't see it going the distance. And as a result, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people think that Errol Spence Jr. is just hating. And I got to tell you, if he was just hating, he would have the right to do it. Why is that? Because that is exactly what Terence Crawford has been doing to him ever since that fight got done. Terence Crawford was asked who his best wins were, and he didn't mention Errol Spence Jr. He mentioned Victor Postol. So I guess, hey, man, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So Errol is not holding back his opinion on the fight and says Canelo's going to knock out Terence Crawford. Now, let's look at it for a second and think, is that a realistic prediction? Well, it is. Just like many people picked Terence Crawford to beat Errol Spence Jr. and the entire time that they said that, I was like, yep, he could absolutely get that done. I take Errol in that fight, but I would not be surprised. I'm not writing out that Terence Crawford could win that fight, right? Terence Crawford won it in a more convincing fashion than I had expected, or many people had expected. I think that there was reasons for that, but whatever. He wins. I was wrong. Used to being wrong about predictions. In this particular instance, though, when Errol is picking Canelo, I really do think he's picking Canelo out of just being a boxing expert. Because earlier on, Errol had stated that he believed in Terence Crawford and thought Terence Crawford could move up there and fight with Canelo. I don't know if he said he thinks he would beat Canelo, but he said, yeah, he would support him to go up there 2 weight classes. Why not? But now he's saying, yeah, you can go up there and get that money. More than likely, you're going to get stopped. But if you look at the fight itself, that's the most likely outcome. Maybe not a stoppage, but a win for Canelo Alvarez. And the reasons are it's plentiful. Number one, just like Terence Crawford said when he mentioned the best fighters he's ever faced, he said that he had faced Victor Postol was one of his best. I think he might have said Yuriorkis Gamboa, whatever. That is not the type of experience that somebody like Canelo Alvarez has. Canelo Alvarez has fights against guys like Floyd Mayweather, Shane Mosley, several fights against Gennady Golovkin, a bunch of guys that are very, very high level fighters. Fought an old kind of messed up Sergey Kovalev when Kovalev was on a downslide a little bit, but still a very big, very, very dangerous guy. Got in the ring with Dmitry Bivol. He lost that fight, but he got in the ring with Dmitry Bivol. And so the level of experience for Terence Crawford is significantly higher than Canelo Alvarez. I mean, Canelo Alvarez's experience level is significantly higher than Terence Crawford's. And I think my personal opinion is I think that is going to come into play because Terence has never, ever in his life, in his professional career, ever fought anybody that he was not the favorite to beat. This is a big step up in the type of skill set and the type of approach to a fight that Canelo Alvarez is going to have. Canelo Alvarez is not a broken down Errol Spence Jr. He's not. And I hate to say that about my guy Errol, but coming up off those car accidents and the way he looked in that ring, dog, that was not the Errol Spence Jr. that you usually see. Ismail Madmarov is a solid fighter, but he had difficulties. Some people thought, I don't know why, really. I think Terence Crawford won that fight, but some people think Ismail Madmarov won that fight. If Ismail Madmarov can fight him to a 50-50 type of situation, what do you think you're going to see Canelo Alvarez do? And if it is a 50-50 type of situation and they're both kind of scoring and doing their own thing, do not expect Terence Crawford to be able to step up and start going at Canelo and getting Canelo out of there like he did so many other times whenever he's kind of feeling like he's down on the cards or the fight's not looking, because he's very, very, he's not an overly active fighter. He's very, very much the counterpuncher. Canelo Alvarez is a counterpuncher too. But anyway, the reasoning behind that, the body shot slowing down Terence Crawford putting all that extra weight on to go up to 168, it could definitely be a recipe for disaster. But most Terence Crawford fans aren't going to think that because they're used to seeing Terence Crawford continually win. So until you see somebody lose, it's hard to put in your mind's eye that this guy is going to lose. So I think that is a lot of the reason that many people give Terence Crawford favor them to win. And there's some people that really do. Like Breadman Edwards said that he favors Terence Crawford to win. Sometimes though, when some of these, and I'm not saying this about Breadman Edwards, the trainer out of Philadelphia specifically, but I'm just saying if you listen carefully enough to a lot of the predictions people make about boxing, they are always a lot of times they're talking about the person that they want to win, not necessarily the person that they think is going to win. There's a lot of hills for Terence Crawford to climb in this fight. I don't think Errol Spence Jr. is hating on him. I think Errol Spence Jr. is just being straight up, and that is giving a solid prediction for the fight. I'm not putting any money on the fight, man, because I'm just not betting on boxing. I don't bet, period. But I'm just not doing it. There's so much funny business that goes on, you just never really know. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.